The poem is the first in a trilogy of poems called Demas. I think of this as my Cloud Lady poem. I wish I could say it is a product of my imagination. It is not. It is a faithful record of something I observed over the town of Olympia at the south end of Puget Sound. The Cloud Lady. She signed herself in the sky that night, arcing over water, the bare curvature of her body closely familiar. She was bending from her belly that felt as near as any lady's earthside center of gravity. She was somehow there and vaulting over the downstream South Sound city. She was just where any man had to certainly know he was seeing her. And she must have been holding herself how she could keep the dark skies overcast from falling further, the blue-gray overcoat from closing on her. Such a proud girl. And it was just a way she had for lighting layers, associative pictures, the painted nudes, mixed crudes, the tales of lucky lovers, each hanging two corners of her moody rooms, even of some first local Indian who said he had found the leftover sky ladder that belonged to sky friends, those giant sky friends who walked grounds made of clouds to seed a cumulus or two with the dew of rainbow. Like her that night, she was a giantess, and it was mostly in the way she had for stretching over as much of deep sky's round as any man's faculty could measure. By any means a larger-than-life lady, and her eyes closed and self-estimating. Then her hair held up behind, with whale's white bone and comb, and back around from her haunting shoulders to her bending back arched like a cat's, then her twin rounds in ample outline, and sliding by her silhouette sides on the way around her mothering mound, and along butterfly thighs to her taut calves, and then the pointed terminus of her toes. She looked like an entire region, one wide expanse of home. And still the elective connections to fall back on the dominoes of what she could mean, back through anima answers, arcing divers, drawing room manets, gardening malays, redolent bouchets, to the half-shell sisters, beehive basilicas, just the women lore and Santa Sophia's most like ancient mothers in recline. And on through stranger-faced nations, past clock-run civilizations, down the lively ladder leading back behind some Nile blue delta line of another lady in the sky who was said to swallow the evening sun, to then push him out on his morning's run, who was said to come before all the other lively ones, who was said to be of the stuff whereby clouds are born. And even then, back behind her, whose name's a three-letter word, back behind, back inside, the morning when she came even nearer, mostly just a feeling like the 40 or 50 soft green waxwings quietly, quickly flitting, and no longer closing those Nile night eyes, the camas lily blue of her bright eyes, when still arcing over to where a stranger to home could pass under, unlocking love's latch, the trumbull catch, just where she might keep inside cathedral conifers.